Hello and welcome to my shop. It's Josh here, 55210. Apologize for the sporadic uploads. Just been crazy busy. Taking care of a newborn and 2.5-year-old. And had the air conditioning go out twice in a week and a half time span. First was the capacitor, and then after that the motor went out on the outer unit, you know, the fan motor. So just one thing after another. Don't have a whole lot of free time anymore to get out here, but give you a little update since the last video. I do have the sheet metal fully lined up, front fenders, doors. I've actually populated the door hardware now, so I've got the locks installed, latches work, got brand new latch hardware installed. Got the electric locks in it because it was a Silverado. Haven't wired the locks yet. I'm going to wait until I get the regulators installed. I've rebuilt wing windows, and it's going pretty good. Next step that's going to be kind of big on this one that I want to do after I get the glass in the doors, pardon me, get that wrapped up, is the wiring. So you used to have maybe 4 or 5 hours an evening after work that I could come out here and get stuff done before the kiddos came along. Now that's about what I get in a week, is something like 4 to 6 hours in a week total, and it's not consecutive. And I'm the kind of guy that when working, especially with the electrical wiring, I want to have an uninterrupted session. So sit down and figure stuff out, not get like interrupted, stop, start, lose place, try and get back to it. So that one's going to sit a little bit until I have that time. I have it on the schedule a few weeks out from now where I should have the time to be able to get that done. It's actually really close to being able to fire this thing up. Got some tightness checks to do on the fuel lines, this wire, and I can fire it up real quick. And then there's not much fab left to do. I do need to make the exhaust system, but other than that, it's about ready to go. Got a couple more updates going on here around the shop. First one is I've got the 56 Chevrolets. I realize I'm just not going to quite be able to get to them. So down in the description will be pricing and availability for them, but both of the 56s I'm going to put up available. They're currently on Marketplace, but I'll have my YouTube subscribers. I'll give you guys a little bit of a break on the initial asking price, and I'll have the prices down in the description, and when those sell, I'll update that. But just trying to get back out of them what I put into them. They're not that expensive, you know, decent project starters, about the same condition as the 55 and 57 I started from. So I've seen you'll need rocker panels, full floors, which from the videos you should be able to do. They both have both seats in it. The 56 two-door I got and didn't have any front sheet metal on it at all. So I've got the front end off of the donor parts car 56 that I'd had. So it'll come with that. I got some headlight buckets and bezels and stuff sitting on the seat. So if anyone's interested, just reach out to my email, which is 55210@gmail.com. It'll be also down in the description if that's something that interests you. But part of why I'm downsizing those, in addition to my overall time crunch going down, is my car guy addiction. I did bring home another vehicle. So I grabbed a 68 Firebird, which was on my bucket list. So this was a 350 4-speed car originally. It's in fairly good shape as far as like the rust concerns go compared to some of the other projects you guys have seen that I've started from. One thing I like is it's got the grille intact. The Pontiac, it just needs a little touch of super glue there to hold the emblem, but the emblem's there. Headlight buckets are there, adjusters, bezels, all of that. So it was a manual steering, manual brake car, a 4-wheel drum, Really not a lot of options on the thing. It did have a like deluxe steering wheel with it, which I really like. That's 1 year only, hard to find. This one's kind of cracked, but we'll be doing a video on steering wheel repair, doing the cracks on that one, fixing it back up, because it's not repopped, and I kind of like it. But there's a metal tech screwed to the floor over here. There's the same thing on the other side with some rust holes in the footwell and brace area. So definitely will need to be putting floor pan patches, which I do have coming. But the seats are not cracked. They're in decent shape. Got the headliner in it. Interior trim is all on there. It's missing the heater controls and the radio, but other than that, everything else is there. Exterior trim is good. You might notice something interesting here. It's smooth. I'll show you what is going on there. I think the repair was identical on both sides. They just lapped over a piece of metal, welded it, didn't grind the weld, and bondoed everything, and actually bondo filled up the little louver gill things that are supposed to be right there. So I'll show you the other side where it's failed and come apart, and you can see the bondo job coming apart here and how rough it was. But I've got new quarters coming in. That's not too big of a job, and overall the car's actually not in too bad a shape. You got your standard like loose rust on the trunk floor, but it's not huge rust holes. It did have a fuel cell at one point, I think, because it's got this angle iron here and there, and a couple of holes cut for like the fuel lines coming in and out. But overall, pretty solid car, I think. I've got a power steering gearbox that came with it. Guy threw in with the deal in case I wanted to go power steering. And then had a fun thing. The car had been sitting inside in the guy's garage that I bought it from for quite some time. And it had these like 30-year-old tires on it with the chrome steel wheels, and you see all the exposed belts. It didn't look like that when I got it home. I brought it here and set it in the driveway until I can get some room to bring it in the shop. When my wife and I were sitting in the in the house, and we hear boom, boom, just back to back, go outside and look, and both tires had blown as the temperature got to them and increased the pressure in the tires. So I threw on a spare set of 5 spokes that I have. It was the roll around set for one of my 9 inches that I've got. So this one looks like it would clear okay. Other side, not quite, which I wasn't expecting it to, because they're off of like a 47 to 55 first series Chevy pickup truck, so it's not a car offset wheel. On the Tri-5, when I bolted it to it, it interfered with the fender, so it's just been kind of a roll around wheel that I'll probably get rid of and sell it off and keep the other 2 that came with it. So it was a staggered size, like a 205 front and a 235 rear, but really tall. It was like 235/75, so a tall sidewall, which I actually kind of like the cushy ride. But see, there's like no room right here if the suspension compressed. So yeah, anyway, I think it looks pretty good like that. It helped level it out with a tire that big, because without the engine in it sitting high in the front. But I'm going to grab some super clean here and open the car up and just give it an initial pressure wash. So while I'm getting in there and rolling around and rooting around in it, trying to figure out what needs replaced and what parts to order up to get started working on it, I'm not getting so grimy. So I'll get that stuff set up and be right back. Alright, got the seats pulled and vacuum running through this thing. So, I found an extra light switch that's on the floor over there, but yeah, I got some rod at the join here with the rear subframe where it connects to the floor. Not unexpected. Pretty soft here. I've got 2 full pan patches for left and right side on order, because I knew they'd be rough. This one's not fully rusted through. Well, it's got a spot right there that it is, so yeah. And then the fronts are pretty much rotted through and have interesting yellow painted steel, whatever, don't know. That'd be cool if it's the side of a school bus. But yeah, gonna need the front brace where the subframe attaches to the front side will also need patched in. Not uncommon. And then let's look at the floor in the trunk after I got it cleaned out. So it actually doesn't look too bad. Spilled a little transmission fluid, but a little super clean will get that cleared right up. But really the trunk's not bad at all. So I'm just gonna wire brush that, probably hit it with some rust converter, and then I'm thinking about going with like a spray can of truck bed liner to line the trunk. And then I didn't do any vacuuming up here. I'm just gonna kind of soak the engine bay down with the spray can, super clean, just get the cross member cleaned up a bit. I'm not really gonna do a lot of scrubbing. I'm just gonna spray it on there and let it do its work. But there was one thing I wanted to show. I pulled the rear seat, and the seat back on my rear seat is off of a different car, obviously, so it's red and it's been spray painted, so the feel of it is really like crispy, crunchy. It feels gross. They make a vinyl dye that works really well and doesn't leave it feeling like that if you want to spray that stuff. But yeah, this was just spray paint. But it looks like it does have the original seat cover on the seat bottom here. And not really a lot of nasty mouse house underneath. A little bit of the fluff going on, but really not bad. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to spray that down, and I'm going to spray the seats down. But I'm not going to use the full super clean concentrate spray, because that's more like, you know, heavy degreaser. But you know, they send me some spray cans and stuff before a couple of times, but in between I'd actually run out of stuff, and I went to O'Reilly and just grabbed the big jug that you see up there. And when I was looking on the back, they've got a mix wiping down vinyl and stuff. It's got lighter mixes on there, so it's not quite so harsh. So I actually refilled their squirt bottle that they had sent me before with a light duty mix, and I'm going to spray down the vinyl and let that kind of work on that, while the heavy stuff works on the engine compartment, you know, your usual heavy degreaser that you're used to. So I'll give this a spray, a little quick wipe down and rinse this off and see how it goes. But yeah, you can actually get the big jug and just mix it up lighter. The spray is really convenient for, like, I like it for engines, the engine block, transmissions. The rear axle housing on this thing is actually pretty nasty, so I'm going to squirt that down with the spray can here. But I wanted to give the vinyl mix-up version a try here and see how it goes, because I liked how it worked on other stuff, the heavier duty grime, and just kind of convenient to just grab one thing and go. So let that sit on that one. I think I'm going to move it to the shade just so it doesn't quite pop off real quick and dry out. There we go. That way it stays wet a little longer here. Let it soak on. Yeah, it's just kind of a light grime going on in here. I've given it a little bit of a wet towel wipe down, but the shop rag just got so filthy so quick. Wasn't really liking it. Yeah. Since there's holes in the floor, it's going to drain out pretty quick anyway when I spray this off, hose it down. But it's kind of hot in here. Say it works pretty good with the cold water mixing it up, so don't have to heat it. Might as well just spray down the door card too. This one is in kind of rougher shape, so it's probably going to get replaced anyway. But just been too grimy. I got double pneumonia while working on the 56s that I grabbed in 2023 could have been related to catching something from my son at daycare, but it also could have been related to when I cleaned out the green 56 parts car. Might have been something with the copious mouse nests in there. So anyway, I'm not taking any more chances with that, and I'm gonna be deep cleaning these things before getting into them anymore, so I cut down the risk of that, because now with kids I don't really want to be in the hospital anymore having to have IV antibiotics. That was all kinds of no fun. And then I didn't have my breath for probably 3 months afterwards. Taking the trash up to the top of the street was a chore, so just not gonna risk it. So anyway, I'll get the last of this sprayed down, get it rinsed off. Here comes the usual fun. Usually you just grab this stuff and hose it down, go to town. So I'm just gonna degunk this whole thing, because it's just grimy down here. But I didn't want to put this full strength stuff on everything inside, so. On this control arm bits, the steering linkage, that gets pretty nasty. But this will save me from just getting so gunked up when I get started in here. I'm tired of leaning up against grimy firewall and all that. I don't know. Let's get the hood too. Why not? Don't breathe good. While I'm spraying this down, one bit of preamble. This has the same heater core in the Firebird here that's in the 6-cylinder and small block Camaros, where the heater hoses come out from the most inboard side right next to the engine. Big blocks have it coming out right here. And I'm gonna have to grab one of those, because I'm planning on sticking that 502 in here. So I'm gonna be grabbing that just as a little heads up. Basically, you can just grab the same Camaro parts to V8 or big block swap your Firebird. And I like original Pontiac engines. They're pretty cool, but I don't have one, and I do have a 502 and a 454, and I want to get this stuff going, so kind of quickly and at cost, because I found the 502 for a stupid deal on Marketplace. It was insane, and I'd pay 3 times as much as I paid for this car just to have like a Butler Performance or someone build and send me an engine. So, look at that, cutting the grime already, looking good. I'm gonna get up under here, get the cross member and other stuff, and I'll be right back. The camera's getting hot out here. It's toasty, but yeah, you can see the lighter colors in here. It's not near as grimy. Unfortunately, my pressure washer is starting to crap out on me. It only has maybe 20-30% of the pressure it normally does, so it's not able to blast the stuff. So I'm really counting on the cleaner to get all the gunk off, because I can't just blast it. But it does look a lot better in here. This was originally a paint color, like K code turquoise car. This is kind of a red oxide maroon right now, but yeah, seat's looking pretty good since I started washing it off. Missed a little bit of it with the camera dying, but let's see if we can't finish up here. Figured out what was going on with my garden hose. See, it's kind of swelled up there behind the brass fitting. Actually swelled from the inside. Pressure got in it somewhere. It forced it and it closed up in the center. It wasn't feeding water to the pressure washer. So hooked up my other hose. That one's pretty much junk now. It's the cheapest hose I could possibly get whenever I got it, so I'm not surprised. But what a weird thing. That's why it wasn't working. It wasn't the pump inside that was messing up. It was the feed line water into it. Crazy. There we go. That's what we want. Well, there, now I feel like I can sit down in the car and not catch hantavirus or some other junk. At least I know that the film of grime is off everything. So just had an interesting smell. I got it, it was inside of a pole barn in central Missouri where I grabbed it, and it had straw inside, which I'd seen for the bedding for the guy's chickens and guinea hens were in there, his guinea fowl. So the mice have been dragging that in, and who knows what they've, you know, defecated on and peed in there. It didn't smell too bad, but I imagine I might find a nest or something up in the headliner when I pull it. But yeah, at least I can get in there. I don't have to worry about that so much, and then I can sit here and evaluate what's going on underneath the car in the front, and not have to worry about touching something lightly and having to go jump in a bucket of pumice hand soap. But as far as like the lighter mix, it looks like it did a pretty good job. I don't see where it's dried any weird splotchiness or anything on the upholstery. It looks like it got all the grime off of there. So that was that 8-to-1 mix that I did of super clean and water. I want to get my shop vac out and vacuum out some of the puddles in here because it's not completely rotted through the floor. But I can do that off camera in a little bit. Anyway, thank you all for watching and checking this out. I'm going to be getting projects done on the Firebird and the pickup, kind of alternating whenever I have the time. So the big thing coming up for the truck is exhaust fab and wiring, and that's going to need a lot of my attention for you know, like a day straight. So it's going to be a few weeks before I have that kind of time. But in the meantime, a couple projects that I do have time for on this car that I can knock out. It will be changing out the regulator on this door and put a new handle on it. So I'll be pulling the cards, swapping that hand crank regulator out, pulling the seats and the console out of here so I can get a better look at the floor. Just a little more evaluation, tear down. I'd like to see what the rear axle ratio is in this thing, check some other stuff out. But the smaller projects that I can tackle on this car where I can, I'm going to put videos out for that, while also trying to get that pickup truck finished. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you next time.